Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dual Screens Crossplay Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Steven Fontana, and with me, as always, he's Andy Asimakis. How are you, Andy?
I'm so done with this stupid weather, dude.
Yeah, what is happening?
I can't take this. Like, it's blistering hot, and it's like a monsoon in the evening.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yesterday, I had to go to a wake. A friend of mine's mom passed away very suddenly, by the way. It was she went in for a routine procedure and did not come out of it.
I don't like
very bad. We don't like it. But anyway, on the way home, it was very sad, rest in peace. On the way home, I decided to walk instead of getting picked up. And let me tell you, it was like walking in a swimming pool, but without the refreshing swimming pool aspect. I was just soaked. And I wound up taking off my button down. I had to do a waddle, like, you know, when you're really starting to get all like chafy, you start to kind of like
a little swampy.
You kind of hike up the underwear into the crevices to kind of soak up some moisture. So I'm doing that. I'm walking around. I'm literally waddling down the street, down 14th Avenue in Brooklyn, like waddling like a penguin. And it was just awful. I got home and I contemplated, Andy. I contemplated doing full cam girl pose in front of the air conditioner.
Oh, you totally should have.
But I didn't because the children were still awake.
You should have. That'd have been
I didn't do it. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it. But folks, you're here. You're listening. You're watching.
You made it.
You made it to here. What is here? This is the Dual Screens Crossplay Podcast. That's right. This is the internet's #1 video game news podcast starring people you've never heard of. Probably. The show posts each and every single Tuesday for your listening pleasure on your podcast service of choice and later on a video on demand on youtube.com/dualscreenstv. And why do I say later on demand? Because we do this show live every single Tuesday, 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/dualscreensstreams. If you want to support this show, aside from viewing it, sharing it with your friends, you could do so with just $1. That's right. Go to patreon.com/NDS podcast. Just like our Patreon producers, Colton the Apprentice Nestler, FNH Paul, and Vegas Girl on fire. We can't continue to grow without all your support. And you guys right now, your money, all of the money that you give us between basically from like March to, I don't know, August, has been going towards PAX, getting us to PAX. So
PAX West, baby.
PAX West.
Excited for that.
We're trying to go. So we need we need your help to get there. All right, Andy, let's get right into the show with the adventures in gaming. Andy, what have you been playing?
So I am up to Metroid Prime on my current play all the Metroid games extravaganza, as it were.
Okay.
You know what I forgot about that game, Steven?
How good it is?
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
But there's no camera control.
No.
And I totally forgot. I was like, holy shit, the C-stick is doing jack shit.
That was...
Shit. And I was like, I can't... How do you not have, in a first-person game...
I forgot how that functioned, actually. Like, that was... It wasn't necessarily on rails, but it was just like push forward, push backwards.
Oh, no, it was totally free roam. But it had like that weird L targeting shit.
Right, that's what it was. Yep. Okay.
So, and you can't just like... I want to shoot that thing. I'm just going to aim a little bit like that and shoot it.
Right.
You have to like get the gun in the right spot. And
It's all about
focus. And
it's very
targeting.
old school FPS design. It's almost like you know, like Doom was just left to right for forever. Like it was just panning left and right. And you just had to line up your center with whatever you were shooting. It wasn't really, your gun didn't move. It wasn't until I think the... probably the PlayStation era, maybe that they kind of changed that a little bit. Maybe PlayStation 2. I don't remember.
Right. So did some of that, and then remember how you were sad last week? You had some sad stories. I have a mad
anger story.
So I got the true secret ending in Returnal.
Oh, okay.
And it left me even more confused than it was before. So
that's fair.
So now I'm on the whole like video essay hunt that makes sense on YouTube to explain this goddamn game to me.
Okay. We could just get some of the developers on and talk to them.
Yes, that's also a goal at some point.
Okay.
At some point.
I still have to beat the game.
But I was going through all the trophies and doing some cleanup, and I realized that 2 of them that I got early on didn't pop. and they're ones for beating the first and second act. So I have to delete my save data and then play again from the beginning like it's the first time to pop them.
That's not good.
So I'm mad that I have to essentially offload my save file to a USB stick, then play it without my upgrades through annoying bullshit. Then
that's not good.
And then so I'm a little pissed at that.
That's not good.
A little pissed.
Come on, Shuhei. What are you doing, man?
But aside from that, that's all I've been playing.
Shuhei's fucking up.
Metroid and Returnal. That game is so addictive. I can't stay mad at it for too long, though.
Right.
That's like the most addicting gameplay I've played in a very long time.
Yeah. Speaking of addictive game.
Yes, tell me.
I'm playing Stardew Valley.
Oh my God, yes.
Never played Stardew Valley until this weekend.
Time Suck Farm. That's what it is. That's what that game is.
I tell you what, I like it a lot. I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to see like how it evolves and everything. One thing I'm disappointed in. One thing. Just it's always the same. It's like all the villagers, all those people, they're all the same. And like the game really doesn't change except for like the starting farm and your decisions, but like everything else is kind of the same. And I wish it was a little bit more fluid. I wish it was a little bit more open-ended. I feel like that would be cool. But I digress.
Are you romancing people yet?
I'm trying. I'm trying to give them things, but it's not working. I forgot to change our overlay to the appropriate overlay, so I'm going to do that while we're talking.
You do that. That's
there. It is
right there.
We did it,
Eric. There you go.
There we are.
Good job.
Totally forgot to do that.
Good job.
Just you and me, baby. Here we are. But yeah, I'm playing it for the first time. Miss Envy and I were playing together, and I've been having a great time. So it's been a lot of fun. Big dumb idiot. You'll love to see it, Vegas. All right, so yeah, I've been playing that. I've been still going through Biomutant, and the more I play Biomutant, the more I'm falling in love with it. I just like it more and more as I'm playing it. They added a lock-on. I don't know if I told you that.
Yes.
They added lock-on, which makes it so much easier.
It's a game changer, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The only thing that you can't do, though, and I don't know why they made this decision, is you can't lock on and do ranged attacks. You can't use your gun locked on. As soon as you shoot, it gets rid of lock on, so you could like fluidly go bounce around or whatever. But for melee combat, it's there, which is cool.
All right. I mean, we'll get there. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, but I digress. It's a lot of fun, and I feel like the game would have gotten much more buzz if it was a little cheaper. And
it was $40 at launch.
I
believe it was $40.
I don't think so.
That is not a $60 game.
I think it was.
It can't be. No way.
I think it was. I think it was. I could be wrong, but I think it was.
I don't think so.
What else have I been playing? Trying to think. I played some. We went over this before, I think last week, but I played Sea of Thieves. You know that.
Are you still on that kick? Is it part of the rotation?
I need to get back into it. I haven't played it since the last time, but it's on my brain. That's the problem I'm having now. It's on my brain, so it's something I definitely want to play. All right, let's get into the indie news update. Andy, you have some indie news update, and this is from a former guest of the show.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Dual Screens podcast.
Good friends of the show, 1047 Studios. Their game Splitgate, which is Portal meets Halo, is out now on all the things. PS5, PS4, Series X, Xbox One, PC. The open crossplay beta is going on right now. It's totally free, and the game will be free to play when it launches in July 27th. So get on that shit now. That game is a lot of fun. Please check it out.
It's a great multiplayer shooter.
Yes,
if you like those games and you miss good Halo multiplayer, or you've fallen off of it, or it's gotten too much for you. Like, I know some people that think Halo multiplayer has added too many layers to it. This is very bare bones. It's run around, shoot each other, and have a great time. And it really is.
Well,
great.
I think their own words were like, we're more fun than Halo is. That's like that's like the quote for the century.
It's a quote for the century. That is 100% correct. All right, Andy, let's get into the Dual Screens report. And the first thing we're going to start off with, as is tradition, we're going to talk PlayStation to start things off. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean.
I
All
know
right,
what you
so we got a couple of we had a state of play July. This was the third party and indies state of play, if I remember correctly. That was what it was
Slash
titled.
Deathloop.
Slash Deathloop, yeah. So we had Moss was book 2. So remember Moss, the VR game.
Yeah, the little mouse.
That's probably what I critically one of the best PlayStation VR games that had been on PSVR. So seeing that it has a sequel is no shock to anyone, really. We got Arcadegeddon. That's PS5. That's Ilphonic.
This is a weird one.
Yeah, this
From
is
the makers of Predator and Friday the 13th.
Right. This is a loot. Yeah, weird. This is a loot based shooter, which are definitely, I would say, trigger words for me. You know,
I kind of feel like, this is a great team, but I feel like they kind of flubbed it with Predator. This sounds like maybe we'll find some success with this cutesy looking looter shooter kind of a thing.
Right. But check out,
see.
do you know the premise of this game?
Something about arcade games.
Yeah. Here it is. Gilly, this is coming from the PlayStation blog, by the way. Gilly, the owner of a local arcade, is trying to save his business from a faceless mega corporation. To do so, he takes all of the top arcade games and connects them all to make a super game. Unfortunately, said mega corporation, Fun Co., hacks the game.
Fun Co.
Hacks
Gotcha.
the game and injects a virus. You and your friends need to save the game and the last hometown arcade. So it's an ever-evolving multiplayer shooter allowing you to play solo or with up to 3 friends to explore multiple biomes, play mini-games, find hidden chests, defeat numerous enemy types, and boss levels. It's a co-op multiplayer experience that provides a mix of PvE and PvP experiences that allows for all different speeds of play. As you continue to play, you can take on additional challenges from the local gangs that hang out in Gilly's arcade. These will earn you much more street cred. Speaking of street cred, earn your spot on global leaderboards. So that sounds pretty cool, not gonna lie. That sounds like a really interesting thing.
And that's out right now, right? I believe. Beta form,
early
as it
access.
were?
Early access
Okay,
is
there you
out
go.
now. Yep.
Okay.
We also have Norsfeld Games action RPG called Tribes of Midgard.
Oh, that's like the shit. That game.
You know Midgard.
Keeping a close eye on that game since they announced it a while back.
Right. Tribes of Midgard.
Future guest of the show, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, really? Oh, I did not know that.
Very much, really, yes.
Oh wow. Okay. So, so this is a action RPG. It's about collecting runes and powering up, and that it's right up my alley as well. This whole thing is speaking to me, which is scary. And then here's another one, Fist.
Ooh, Fist looks really good.
Fist looks really
Fist
good.
looks really, really good. It has that Wild 9 sort of like PS1 weirdness that I love so much about it. It's a rabbit in a combat mech with a giant freaking hand.
Right. How could you go wrong with a giant?
And it's a Metroidvania.
Mech
Please
hand.
God, yes. I want it.
Metroidvania. So the only thing that it reminds me of Biomutant a little bit, like where it could be
a little bit more polished, maybe.
Yeah, but it looks like it could be it could be a little bit of that high AA type thing, you know?
Yeah, I'm seeing that with this.
Which is, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but whatever. Hunter's Arena Legends. It's a 30-player melee game that comes to PlayStation Plus. It'll be joining PlayStation Plus on August 3rd. I don't know anything about this game.
So I read about this game a little bit. I saw that it totally like bombed on Steam when it came out a while ago. It had like a 5-player concurrent thing going on.
Oh, that's terrible.
Wasn't well received. I'm not sure if this will sort of resurrect this dying game in some way, but hey, it's on PS Plus, so I'll give it a shot like I did with, shit like that. What was that racing game? That Destruction All-Star script?
Destruction All-Stars, yeah.
Yeah, give that a shot. Didn't like it too much, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. It looks rough around the edges.
It's very mediocre to me.
But I'm all for trying some new stuff,
All right. For sure.
Here comes the big one here. This is one I know that you're very excited for. We got to see more of Sifu.
Oh my God. Steven.
Tell me about Sifu, Andy.
So it's like a roguelike fighting situation, and when you die, you get older and older. It's dope.
Dope.
And I'm pissed that it gets released next year. It got pushed back to next year. They dropped this weird oh yeah, it's delayed in the state of play.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I get it. Take your time, guys. I'm all for that, but it just looks so sexy. Like the more I see this game, the more I want to play it. Kung Fu beat 'em up. Give it to me.
Yeah, it's all about flow and keeping that timing and that rhythm. It looks really cool. And it's basically one giant cutscene or like one giant scene that you're fighting in.
Right.
A la Daredevil. Which is pretty cool, that Daredevil scene. We also got a first glimpse at the gameplay for Jet the Far Shore, which is one of those very obscure, esoteric piece games where you just kind of run around.
Like an exploration kind of game.
Yeah.
Checking out planets and worlds and people it's a very laid back, chill kind of game. Not the most graphically stunning game, but doesn't have to be. So this is definitely on my radar for sure.
Yeah. Then we got Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles. That's a lot of words for something I don't understand.
Have you seen this anime before or read the manga? Neither have I.
No.
It has a huge following. Ken's brother was in town for the weekend. He came from Colorado, and he was watching this on his phone the entire weekend.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And was like,
it's not very social now, is it?
Is it? No, not really. But I'm like, well, he was watching that while I was playing games, so it was a perfect match. I'm gonna talk to you. You're gonna talk to me. Just in our zones, doing our thing. That's how I like it. But I'm like, is this anime really that good? I've heard really good things about it. But for me, seeing this trailer is seeing that blur between anime and video game. It's getting so close where you can't tell anymore. Like that it's a game that it has such stunning visuals.
Right.
So it looks really cool. So all right.
Yeah, I need to care. I need to. If something has that deep of a IP attached to it, I'm already put off because I don't have that connection with the IP. If the game was the IP, if it was a brand new thing to me and the game was that thing, it's much easier for me to get into. So
if it's a licensed game, but you don't know said license, it's like, right. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's hard. Like I never got into like the Naruto games. Like I know some of them were pretty cool.
Oh, and I did because I love that franchise. So I was like,
I never played. I never watched any of that. But Dragon Ball Z, I grew up on. I grew up on Dragon Ball Z. So like almost all of those games I have some connection to, even though I don't like fighters. Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Fighters was like perfect for me because it was really easy to play. See all the flashiness, and I knew all the characters, so it's
there you go.
Much easier for me to get into stuff. Death Stranding director's cut. We got to see a little bit of that.
This
new missions.
My favorite part of the whole show.
I'm sure it was.
I am so glad that Kojima is not done with this world yet. He's putting new story, new weapons, new missions, new equipment, new shit.
Right.
I'm here for it.
I'm glad that the producer of Death Stranding, which is Hideo Kojima, stopped director Hideo Kojima from putting his full vision into this game so that we can get this director's cut.
Director Hideo Kojima said he hates the name director's cut. Right. So there's that.
Yeah. Which is weird because he directly names his games. So it is what it is. Deathloop. We got 9 minutes of Deathloop gameplay. I know you're excited. The more I see this, the less I care.
Really?
Yeah, nothing about this thing intrigues me.
I just want to play it because with me with first person games, I kind of shy away from military, like Call of Duties, Battlefield. I'm coming around to it. I was sold a little bit on it on E3, but I like a unique non-military shooter, and this screams that to me.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm falling in love with roguelikes more and more by the second I feel, with Hades and Returnal, just like so much, and like Loop Hero. So I'm into this. I want to see it and play it. Comes out September 14th.
I think now please, bear with me here.
I'm Baron.
There's something about the art style that puts me off as well. I think the character design is it just doesn't speak to me. I don't know. I like the aesthetic. I don't like the look. That doesn't make sense.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious. Were you a fan of the Dishonored games at all?
I didn't play them. I did not. Dishonored, I did not get into.
Really great franchise.
It's on my wall of
Part
shame.
2 especially is like Arcane. They know their genre well, and seeing them tackle a roguelike has me very excited. And this is very stylish. And again, I'm just like a day one buy for me. But seeing you become less and less interested is
it also
a bit of a shocker.
It also, I think it triggers my my OCD a little bit and my anxiety, where I know that you have to keep starting over and over and over, like you know, going through, and like I don't like the having to do the perfect thing, you know, or like figuring that part out. I don't know. It's just not my style of gameplay. And finally, Lost Judgment got its final. I don't know if it's a final trailer, but it's another trailer here, and we got a release date, September 24th. This game looks goofy as hell.
You know, I still can't get over seeing these games with American voice actors.
It's weird, right?
It's really weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But that is actually going to bleed into one of our stories here on the Dual Screens Report. So I'm just going to get right into that one. This comes from Kotaku.
You're such a smart boy.
Right. This is a report.
Smart boy.
Kotaku here. Brian Ashcraft reports Judgment series is ending.
Oh no!
Over the PC version disagreement. How weird is this?
This is the silliest piece. It's borderline hype zone news. This headline, I feel.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Stephen. Go ahead. Give us the dirty details.
Sega scored a big coup by signing up Takuya Kimura, one of Japan's biggest celebrities, to star in its Judgment games. With Kimura comes bona fide star credentials and, of course, talent agency power. That last point, according to one report, could be the budding franchise's downfall. According to weekly publication Nikkan Taitsu, a Japanese entertainment insider is quoted as saying that the upcoming Lost Judgment will be the last entry in the series because, the insider explains, those on the side of the game developer and those on the side of the talent agency are said to have been unable to reach an agreement regarding the platforms to sell the game. Kotaku has reached out to Sega for comment, but they did not hear back. So I have a theory over why this is a problem, although it seems like it really probably shouldn't be a problem.
I'd love to hear that. Give me this theory.
So my theory is, Andy, that this is a likeness IP licensing issue where we've seen this before, where celebrities or IP are easily changed, modified, or used in different ways in PC games. So I'm wondering if this has something to do with the fact that the community for some of these PC games can mess with it, and maybe they just have higher standards for that kind of thing. And it's much more controlled on consoles. So, and it's much more quantifiable as well on consoles, because as you know, PC games, like, you could get these things pirated very easily on PC. It's very difficult to do that on a console. So I think because of how, like, you and I will never really understand how popular this actor is in Japan,
of course,
but I'm thinking it's like on the levels of like a Robert Downey Jr. is to us here in the States. And if Robert Downey Jr.'s agent said, hey, he's going to be in this video game, but not on PC because we don't want anybody fucking with his likeness and putting him in different games and you know, whatever, without us getting paid, you know,
I'm sure,
you know.
Yeah, I'm sure most folks, you know, on our side of the planet feel, well, why is an actor dictating where a game gets released? It's like, you have no say in this matter. It's like, just do your part and shut up and go home and get your paycheck. But understanding it from his perspective, from where he's from and what his name carries, those protections should remain. I mean, I think it's like the second time you've had some weird shit with this game before. Like, was it like a drug addict or an actor that was like busted for drugs? They took him out of the game and they had to put a whole new character in.
Yep.
So weird stuff with actors and
Japan
stuff
is very, very. They're all about honor, as you know. Like like honor is a huge thing for them, which isn't a bad thing. But they take it to like the nth degree, and they hold people to a very high standard. So this could just be something. This could just have something to do with that.
Right, and I feel like, listen, I would rather, it's kind of shitty to leave out the PC audience, but I'd rather this series live on and cut out PC than just die, because we're just getting started now with this franchise, and it's supposed to be a stand-in for the Yakuza classic gameplay, the more GTA action, button mashing gameplay. So to see this go away so soon, I have two things I love. I have RPG with Yakuza and beat 'em up with Judgment, and seeing one leave is like, fix this. Find the way to fix it so we get both of these shits, more and more of them in the future, because it's kind of fucked up.
Just give me 1 second, because it looks like OBS has frozen.
Oh,
so I don't know if it's. I don't know if the numbers are continuing on the recording. I have no idea, because it's not telling me anything.
Right in the middle.
So,
as it were.
I'm just going to wait this out and see if it fixes itself. Usually it does. There we go. Oh. Okay, so stream is still live. Okay, it's still live, but I don't think it's recording. Because it's completely frozen. So we're gonna wait on this.
I could press record in the Zoom call and just capture it this way.
No, I'm not editing. I'm not doing a crazy edit. It's not happening, Andy. It's not happening. I'm gonna Control-Alt-Delete this bad boy and see what's going on here.
In the meantime,
Streamlabs
we can check in the chat.
Yeah, check with the chat real quick.
And yes, the downfall was real. Like, folks did go to jail over that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like it's I understand the concern, if that is indeed the case.
Oh, baby, it was recording the whole time, and we're back. All right, beautiful. It just refreshed itself, and we're good. Woo! Okay, so we didn't lose anything, folks. Hopefully, and no promises.
We got extra crap is what we just got right now. We got a bunch of extra shit.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell just happened, but I think we're back. Can we confirm? This is what happens live, twitch.tv/dual screen streams, high quality content. Thank you to our Patreon producer. Are we back? Chat, can you please confirm that everything is golden right now? Can we confirm that right now as I get ready for our segue into our next topic, which I had a good one. We never left. Good. Okay, here we go.
Even better.
Andy.
Segue, baby. Segue me.
Andy.
Steven.
We just got started with the Judgment series, right? That's what you said. You said we just got started with it.
We just got started, yes.
And if you just got started with The Witcher 3, it would now take you an additional several years to finish.
Oh my God.
Because The Witcher 3 is getting free DLC based off of the Netflix series. Andy, can you take us into this one?
Yeah. Who asked for this? Anyway, Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt next gen update is coming to PS5 and Series S and X and PC later this year. Spoiler alert, we've also prepared some free DLC inspired by Witcher Netflix. More info coming soon. So CD Projekt Red dumped this over Twitter. It was announced also, I think, during WitcherCon, which is a thing I didn't know was a thing.
That is something we really don't need. We don't need the WitcherCon.
Right. I feel like BlizzCon is like a celebration of all things Blizzard. It's got Diablo. It's got StarCraft, Warcraft, Overwatch. A lot of content there, but WitcherCon, it's only had 3 games.
Well,
and books, and now the show.
And you know they're not going to be talking about 1 and 2. However, maybe it was supposed to be CD Projekt Con, but Cyberpunk ruined all that.
They don't sound that sexy.
They were like,
Project Con.
we can't show we can't show Cyberpunk because it still doesn't work.
What do you imagine this looking like, Steven?
A CD Projekt Con?
No, this Netflix DLC shit.
Oh, I don't know. The show is really, really... The first episode of that show is so off-putting in how it's structured that if you don't know the series like really intimately, you're lost. And my wife loves high fantasy. She loves like this kind of, she loved Game of Thrones. And so I was like, oh, The Witcher, that's perfect for her. She gets to see Henry Cavill with his shirt off. It's going to be great. And she was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like she was completely lost.
You know what I can't wait for, Steven? To have this game have the Netflix logo just plaster all over it. I hope. So good.
I
Such
hope
a good luck
that when you finish, I hope that when you finish a quest in this specific Netflix series, the free LC, you get that horribly obnoxious and way too loud dong dong when you start Netflix. It should just play that noise over and over again.
It should be like, are you still playing this game? We're like 100 hours deep. Continue playing.
Yeah. You still there? Are you still there? Continue playing.
Are you still here?
Are you still here? Speaking of still here, you know what's not going to be here soon? That's Ghostwire Tokyo.
Aw, this upset me a little bit.
Little bit.
But again, we've said it before, and we'll say it again. We're living in a post-cyberpunk world. And if you want to delay a game, I'm going to applaud you and be like, yes, do that. Make a game that's not buggy as shit. So Tango Works gave us an update today that they made the decision to delay the launch of Ghostwire Tokyo to early 2022. Very upsetting. We want to get this game in your hands as soon as possible so you can experience the unforgettable version of a haunted Tokyo that we've been hard at work building. So, okay, I'm all for that. Delaying it, make it fine. I mean, this was kind of obvious to me. We haven't seen this game in a very long time. Like, I feel like if it was coming out this year, it would have been like a match for match in Deathloop marketing.
Right.
But it's been sort of like AWOL since I think the director left in March. That cute girl from the Bethesda show from E3 2 years back or 3 years back.
Yeah.
Remember her?
Yep.
She was so adorable. But then she left because she was going insane and the crunch was legit for her. So I wonder if that impacted this, us not seeing it for a long time and now being, hey, we're not getting until next year. Yeah. But again, if you want to take your time, cool. I'm all for it.
Game delays don't bother me anymore.
I'll wait. They really don't.
Like
they really truly don't.
The more I look at my backlog, here's one. It's within reach. You see this? Do you hear this, listener? Do you hear that? Hold on.
You hear that? I hear a plastic wrap on the game.
Shrink wrap
and never
on
played.
Phoenix Immortals Phoenix Rising. That's what that is. I still haven't opened this game. I know, and I want to play it, but I want to beat Biomutant first.
So I'm gonna challenge that a little bit about delays not bothering you.
Okay.
Delays bother me when there's like a date.
If it's like this is coming out in
it's coming out July 5th, and then like a week prior, it's gonna be 6 more months, you guys. And it's like, really? You should have known a little bit.
Yeah.
But things with nebulous release windows, like it's coming 2021, and it's like 2022. Okay, all right, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, listen, delays are going to happen. The one thing that I took away from this is when I was reading the statement on the delay, you can literally copy and paste. You could put all of the statements from all of the games delayed the last 2 years, and I swear to God they use the same exact template.
I'm sure there's like an industry standard.
Not like, visual template, but like the actual words that they say. It's like, we were really excited to give you insert
put
game.
This game in your hands, and now we're gonna give us some more time to make it the most perfect version of this game.
Right. We have been working really hard on insert game.
We appreciate your support for insert game.
Like that's all it like, and they're just like, all right, now change the words a little bit and make it so we don't get so we don't get in trouble for plagiarism.
This sounds like when I email developers to come on the show. I'm always like, did I get the name right? Did I get the studio right? Did I change all the keywords?
If only life had an easy mode. Speaking of, Psychonauts 2 has probably the best easy mode I've ever heard of. Andy, tell us about Psychonauts invincibility mode.
So Psychonauts 2 is going to feature an invincibility toggle. It's like having a cheat on all the time. So it can, quote unquote, to enable all ages, all possible needs to enjoy the game. It's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing and important process for our industry and a challenge we need to meet. So apparently Double Fine was like, listen, if you beat Psychonauts 2 on easy mode or invisibility mode, you still beat the game. Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm not going to challenge that.
Okay. Like, why? Like, honestly, like, for I've never understood the fervor and the anger and the yelling into the ether of Twitter when a game has an easy mode. Like we saw with the argument is always, well, if I play it the way the devs intended it. Well, the devs intend you to play the game.
No.
Like they don't intend you to always play like the hardest version of their game, or like they want you to play the game. They want you to go from beginning to end and then want to play it again. And typically in a game's design, you start off with easy enemies, you end off with the hardest enemy. That's like the typical progression of a game. And you learn
it teaches you through gameplay. Yeah.
And there are games like the Soulsborns where it's instantly as difficult as it's going to be. And then it's just variations on that difficulty. It's like, you need to have the skill, figure it out. You're not getting past this first boss until you figure it out. Okay, now you got past the first boss. Cool. Now we're going to see how good you are at those skills. And then they do that. But you get, you refine those tools from the very beginning. And perhaps if you say, oh, there's an easy mode, but maybe I just want to play the game and see the ending. Like maybe I bought this game and I just want to, that's what I want to do. So like, I'm all for it, especially for people who have, for lack of a better term, special needs, where they may not be able to experience a challenging game the same way you and I can. I just think that that's always good. I think the one that really opened my eyes to this was the I forget what they called it, but it was the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that had the like auto turning thing for like kids. Like you could just push forward, push gas or brake or whatever it was, and like teach kids how to play the game, you know what I mean? But without them being miserable and going backwards, because that always happens. Like when a kid first picks up Mario Kart, they just go backwards, they slam into the sides, they get hit by every projectile, they throw a useless blue shell, if they could even get a power up. So I like this stuff. It's especially important in games that are targeted towards younger audiences, like with even just art style and marketing, like a Psychonauts 2. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like for a game like this, I don't think it doesn't look very challenging and hard off the bat. So I'm not sure why you have to announce like this mode. Like I get it. Like you want all ages to enjoy your game. Totally fine. I think there should be some sort of line we draw between. This should be something that games for younger crowd should have in mind, but not for all games. With some key points, I feel like Returnal, for example. Returnal is a game I busted my ass through for many hours, and now that I'm doing cleanup on it for the platinum, I wish I had something like this that unlocked in the end game.
Right.
It's like you busted your ass for like so many hours. You want to get some trophies? We're going to give you God mode to just plow through the game and get those fucking stupid logs and go through it.
Right.
That I get, but I wouldn't ask for like an easy mode at the get-go for a game like Returnal. That game is all about
I get that,
a challenge or a Dark Souls or a Bloodborne.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, but you know, in the same thing, and like actually to go against what I was saying, like those games aren't targeted for younger audiences. Like they are M for mature, T for teen, whatever they are. Whereas Psychonauts is probably going to be an E for everyone. And they want to make sure that E for everyone actually stands for E for everyone. You know what I mean? Maybe the ESRB could put a sort of disclaimer on the box that if your game doesn't have an easy mode, it can't be E for everyone. And so, like, all right, your content is mature anyway, so don't worry about it. But if you're making a cartoony little game, you know, make sure it has an easy mode because your target audience should be able to enjoy it, and especially, you know, anyone with any sort of needs or something like that.
It reminds me, there was an article I read many moons ago. I think it was on Kotaku or Rock Paper Shotgun, one of those two publications, that was calling for a skip the boss button in Cuphead.
Yes.
And I was like,
what's the point? There's no point in playing the game then.
At this point, just watch videos on YouTube. Like that game was first, it was all bosses, that game, when it came out. Then it was, all right, we're gonna make levels to string along these boss fights,
right,
to flesh it out some more,
right?
Because that game was like Shadow of the Colossus when they first conceived it. So like, skipping boss fights, like, let's have, it's a challenging game. It was designed to be challenging.
Right.
I want a game that's gonna push it, because I feel like if you had a god mode in a game like a Bloodborne or a Cuphead or a Returnal, like, that feeling you get when you beat a boss after losing 5, 6, 10 times in a row and getting the patterns down, getting the dodging just right, not being like overly greedy with your hits and knowing when to back off and play defensive. And then seeing that boss beater tick down, and then you're like, that elation you feel when you beat it, you can't get that with the god mode. It takes all the fun out of the game.
No, but
for those kinds of games,
right? But then I could also like look at Cuphead and say, "Here, Jack, you play," and he could just play.
Right.
With God mode, like he'd just be like playing, like,
sure,
"Oh, this is great, I love it." I want to take your skin and take your organs, because he's creepy. Speaking of for kids.
Oh shit! This is like an all you story. This is
this is pretty interesting.
Someone went into your brain and made this game, I feel.
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, Smash Brothers alike fighting game is coming to the Switch this fall. So literally took Smash Bros and PlayStation All-Stars took words out of the titles of those games
here
and put it in the title of this game.
So here's what I'm wondering, Steven. The title of this headline that's from NintendoLife.com says is a Smash Bro alike.
Smash Bros alike, yeah.
And it's in quotes. Is that a quote from Nickelodeon? Is it a thing that is it a coined term? This is our Smash Bros alike. I
don't know. Here's the thing. Some of these games could be pretty cool. But
Brawlhalla is an example of a good game in this genre.
But literally, it's PlayStation All-Stars, so they took the All-Star out, and Super Smash Bros. Brawl, they took the Brawl out. They slapped Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Now, the roster has me real happy, okay?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're only getting, according to this initial list, I'm sure you unlock them, but 2 of the 4 Ninja Turtles, and they are classic designs with a twist, but they look like the classic design, not the current cartoon, which I really appreciate. But you got Michelangelo and Leonardo. Biggest pop. Do you know what a pop is, Andy, in wrestling?
No.
Do you know what's a pop?
Tell me, what's a pop?
It's when the crowd goes crazy.
Teach me. Oh, okay.
It's when the crowd pops.
Gotcha.
Huge pop in my household when I saw Nigel Thornberry come across my screen in glorious 4K on my phone.
See, now I got that when we got Powdered Toast Man.
Powdered Toast Man, dope.
Because he's like, he's the muscle of Ren and Stimpy,
Right. I also popped with Zim.
Oh, Invader Zim, yeah.
Invader Zim, because he's great. Notably missing from this, Andy, quite a few characters. None of the Rugrats, but we do get Reptar. But is that because we don't want to slap around babies? I'm wondering.
Potentially.
I mean, we do have Lucy Loud from the Loud House.
And there's Helga from Hey Arnold. She's a young adolescent.
She's a child, but she's not a baby,
And a baby, yes. Yes.
Now, I know they don't own this, but how do they, I feel like you can't make a Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl without Doug.
I was just going to say.
I know he's
Doug
not their IP anymore.
But he's notably missing from this lineup.
Well, because Disney owns him now.
I know, it's so shitty.
That's a big problem here. But if we could get Quailman.
Oh my God.
Quailman is
holy shit
needed in this video game,
See, here's what I'm wondering, Steven.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon is owned by Viacom CBS. Who also owns MTV.
MTV, right?
Could we get some like MTV shit?
Oh, like
DLC?
Daria.
Yeah, some Daria action.
Little
some
Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. Yeah. That's about all I know from their cartoon lineup.
Some Aeon Flux from back in the day.
Oh, Aeon Flux! Wow.
You know?
But clearly this is aimed towards children. So
right.
Let's see what else do we got? I mean, Nickelodeon had some bangers back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Oblina from Our Real Monsters is an interesting choice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate that choice.
There should be a stage that's from Are You Afraid of the Dark? It's just like a campfire setting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I should do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be a neat idea, I feel.
What about Salute Your Shorts? We don't have any live action characters in this game.
Well, that was, yeah. That would be weird. Oh God, that's scary. I don't want to think about that. No. Oh, get it out.
But this could have been a SpongeBob game, and I would have been all in.
Right. If it was just SpongeBob characters
there's a lot
of each other.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot to. But let's just think about this. Like you have to be able to unlock Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, Hey Arnold, Helga's in it, but not Arnold. That's weird. Yeah. None of the Rugrats. You got Reptar.
Mm-hmm.
You got Patrick and SpongeBob and Sandy, which is fine, but you got to have Squidward in there and Mr. Krabs.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to. I know I'm blanking on some Nickelodeon. You know what? Let's get into the old internet here. Nickelodeon cartoons 90s. Here we go. Let's get in there. Yeah, Turtles. Yep. Invader Zim. Yep. Oh, wait. Was that it? Rocket Power. Nobody from Rocket Power?
Oh, Angry Beavers. Is that a Nickelodeon
The Angry
show?
Beavers, yes.
Yes.
Angry Beavers. Yes. There's nobody from Cat Dog. We don't have Cat nor Dog from Cat Dog.
That should be a boss fight.
How do we not have Cat Dog? Rocco's Modern Life?
Yeah.
But I think they're owned by Netflix now, right? They did a Netflix show? I know they returned.
Well, this could all... I mean, you have 20 to start with. Angry Beavers, Cat Dog, Rocco's could join maybe at some point.
Right.
Jimmy Neutron.
Was that
Where
Nickelodeon?
the fuck is Jimmy Neutron? Yes.
Jimmy Neutron. Okay, but now here's the biggest one. I think the most important one. Kenan and Kel. Where is Kenan and Kel in all of this?
Oh, we're doing real people again?
Or actually, you know what you could do though? You could do OMAC.
It's gonna do a Good Burger situation.
You could do a Legends of the Hidden Temple level.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a Double Dare level.
A Double Dare level.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What else do we got here?
I'm into that. I'm really into that. I mean, this, again, the gameplay doesn't look half bad. I'm not gonna lie.
It actually looks pretty good.
It looks fairly competent.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm into that. And when you have like the Turtles in there, at some point you're gonna get two more. You're gonna get April. You're gonna get Splinter. You're gonna get Shredder. They're gonna add a fuck ton at some point. If this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? In the chat, CTO the bro, Avatar, Airbender.
Avatar, yep. Airbender.
How do you not have that?
Gotta have that in there.
I mean, he probably just smoke all of them in a heartbeat. That's probably why. It's like, can't compete.
I mean, is it out of the realm of possibility to get a Adventures of Pete and Pete cartoon version of them? Pinky and the Brain was also a Nickelodeon property after Animania. Like it was, I don't know why, but it was on Nickelodeon, but only Pinky and the Brain, not Animaniacs. So that's a possibility. Hello, Blue's Clues.
Oh my God, just have Blue.
Do we not have around. Blue going in there slapping dudes around?
Well, again, that's probably because it's that's actually a good point.
You know,
should be slapping dudes.
You know,
or get Steve in there, or the new guy,
or Eureka's Castle.
Right? Yeah.
Remember Eureka's Castle? That was a dope show. That was a dope show. Anyway, we certainly wasted a lot of time on that story.
That was
Andy.
It's fine. I think that was our last story.
Andy,
we're getting
the hype zone. The hype zone. I want to tell you something about the hype zone. Okay, my mother sent me this article that you have in the hype zone.
It reached your mom.
My mother texted me.
Wow.
Go ahead.
You know, Steven, I'm sad about people sometimes, with people with money.
People with money need to like fucking
and
stop
how
it.
they spend. Because earlier today, I was talking to a developer for next week's Dual Screens podcast episode, and how their game is not fully funded yet, and they're going to try to go the publisher route.
Okay.
And unless that happens, they can't make their game happen.
Right. I remember that.
And then I see this article about this purchase, and I wonder, this could have funded so many dreams.
So many.
But
so
here
many.
we are, the highest graded copy of Super Mario 64, a WADA 9.8 A double plus sealed 1996 copy of Mario 64 has sold for $1.56 million, which edged out, I believe it was a copy of the original Zelda game for like $860,000. What does a person do with this once they have it? Because I don't want to get into like a morbid place right now, but like I'm thinking about my stuff, the things I own after I leave this
earthly plane
place and go into my spirit form at some point, or reincarnation.
We come back as a fucking gnat.
No, don't mean probably a toilet brush. But like, where does my stuff go in the end? And then someone's spending all this money on a cartridge that, what do you do with it when you have it? And why is this something you need to own?
So I know like collectors that collect really, really expensive stuff that spend a lot of money on expensive stuff.
I mean, you know, the whole Pokemon card.
They put them in a safety deposit box. Hope it
appreciates in value.
Yeah, appreciates in value. I couldn't think of the word. I kept thinking depreciate, but that's not the word. And I think that's really it. You just wait to see if you ever need to sell that. Maybe pass it down to your children. Chances are, if you're buying Nintendo 64 copy of Mario 64 for $1.5 million, you are not procreating.
If I had... If I had this much disposable income, my brain is a little broken now. If I had that much money where I can plunk down 1.5 mil on a freaking N64 game, I would open that shit live on Twitch.
I'd burn it in front of everyone.
I'd be like, I'm gonna open it up and put it in a brand new N64 and play it for the first time.
I would burn it and scream capitalism as I'm doing it. Just,
I mean, you might as well light the money on fire.
I could tell you this. Like, without a doubt in my mind. I would never, ever, no matter how much money I had, I would never buy something like that. And just to have it. Like, what I would buy is a complete collection of like Nintendo games, opened, whatever, no matter the condition, just so I could have a complete library. Totally would do that
on the wall.
Yeah,
for
just
like
I would totally.
things,
yes, I would absolutely totally do that. We're doing high fives. That's pretty good. High five. I would totally do that. I would want like all the PS1 games, all the OG Xbox games. Like I would totally do that. I don't give a shit if they're opened. Like I don't need that. But yeah,
literal game room is what it is.
Yeah, like that's what I would do. I would buy like arcade cabinets.
Oh yeah, see, because I can find value in that. I'd be playing it.
Right.
I'd have it hooked up to a wall, like actually play the thing. Now, like, I can't ever touch this piece of merchandise. It'll go down to like $0 if a little bit of air gets in the cracks.
Yeah. No, I don't care about any of that.
It makes you wonder what kind of person has this kind of money. Is Jeff Bezos just fucking buying these rare games? What's going on?
Well, rich people just went into space this week.
Yeah, they did.
Like, whatever. I can't.
I hear that they're good at rockets, those rich people.
Yeah, rich people really like making rockets. I have a plea for rich people.
Stop being about rockets?
No. I need you all, every one of you that is watching this or listening to this, to tweet at or tag or whatever as many rich people as possible. All of them. Celebrities, specifically and especially Bill Gates, because I feel like we're close. He's the closest to actually doing this. Just get at him and say, hey, dual screens, you should totally give them money so that they can quit their jobs and do this forever. You understand?
Yeah.
Get in there, put it in their face and be like, listen, they're hardworking. It's not like they're not putting in the work, because God knows we're putting in the work. It's not like we're lazy millennials that just want a handout. No. We want the handout, but we're not lazy millennials.
We'll work for the handout.
Yeah, we're working for it. We're not going to just go off into the sunset.
Right.
We're just going to like make a studio with like multiple rooms where we can do like different types of shows.
We would maybe fly guests in because we're at that level, you know?
Right. You know, and Bill Gates will get Xbox in trouble because it'll be seen as bribery. You see, paying us off for our good-natured stuff. But yes, we'll put people on payroll. We'll have a staff. We'll be a job creator, Andy. We already have a staff. We just hold them hostage.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had money to pay them. Like,
we pay them in smiles and
we pay them in small amounts of money, very small amounts of money, if they're getting paid at all. small amounts of money, whatever we could get in there. You understand? And I think, honestly, I think Bill Gates is very philanthropic, loves to give money to charity. We could maybe change Dual Screens into a 401c charitable organization.
Right. I could. Yeah, definitely.
You know, where we provide. What would our charity service be?
The most amazing money laundering scheme that was ever conceived.
Oh, right. Money laundering. Yeah. No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that.
That's not Ozarks with this shit.
We don't want to we don't want to be that, Andy.
You know what I would do, Steven?
What would you do?
You've heard my dream before. If I had a lot of money, what I would do?
You would buy whistle children and corgis.
No, there's that. There's that.
Okay.
I could achieve that now if I really stop buying bullshit.
Okay, that's fair.
Technically,
that's fair.
But with a lot of money, I would just fund a bunch of indie game projects.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
I would go like, what does your game
need?
Indie
game publisher.
Yeah. What does your game need? Here you go.
Yeah.
And I don't want any of the rewards, any of the just name the credits. You know, I don't want any stake in your company or profits. Just your game looks dope. Make this game. Here's some money. Go make it.
Money.
Make it good.
Well, that's going to bring us to the end of the show, Andy. This was a good one. I had a good time. This had good energy.
Yeah.
Good energy.
Yeah.
If you want to follow us on social
media,
yeah, hell yeah. If you want to follow us on social media, we are at dual_screens, at dual screens on Instagram. Twitter was the first one, if I didn't say that. Our Facebook group is facebook.com/groups/DS podcast, which I'm going to get back to the Facebook question of the week. I keep forgetting to do it. I will do it tonight. I promise.
Well, we have, Steven,
yes.
Before we go for the night,
yes.
we have a mailbag.
Oh, do we?
That we have to address.
Okay, let's do it. Let's address a mailbag.
It was quite the mailbag.
Quite a mailbag.
It wasn't so much a question as it was a hypothesis. /statement.
Oh, that's right. I did see this. Okay. Yes. Okay.
So I would say do all the rigmarole and then we can end on this because this needs all of our attention to address properly.
Okay. Yes, we need our brain cells for this one.
We do.
Okay.
We really do. You ready?
Yes, please.
Okay. From our favorite Patreon supporter, Mr. Buzz Killington, friend of the show. He threw this in the mailbag. And he says, with all these chip shortages and everything selling out instantly, one thing that does get talked about a lot is how Sony is outselling 2-to-1 PS5 to Series X and S consoles.
2.4-to-1.
Yes. Originally, it depends where you are. Originally, I thought it was that they had better access to the chips and were able to get more. Now, I think, Buzz, your answer was that Sony has some sort of like deal and they're some other weird backdoor shit that they're doing with AMD. But the real answer has been in front of our faces the whole time. Microsoft recently finished upgrading all the xCloud series to Series X instead of Xbox One S. And for those who don't know, the servers that these games play off of the cloud, they're running on actual Xbox One S hardware processors in a data center on like 2U racks. I think it's like they have 8 Xbox One S's per rack to stream, to cloud the stuff to people.
To cloud it.
So they've swapped those One S's out for the new fancy shit, the Series X. So they have been using a lot of Series X towards that.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it's done,
Mm-hmm.
their sales should start, quote unquote, catching up.
Mm-hmm.
They also have had a lot more batches popping up lately.
Mm-hmm.
So that should help with people getting one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel this is an interesting strategy, but proves they have a different focus because they wanted to make sure xCloud is its best rather than having a few extra console sales.
Okay. Question. Question.
Sure. Go ahead.
Then why doesn't the Series S also sell out? Or why is there more of those to buy?
Okay. I'm going to say something that you're not going to hear often on this channel.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not what I meant, Buzz. I meant that the Series S also sells out. If they were focusing only on the Series X for their data centers, then there would be more Series S's out there and therefore more sales being reported. But that's not the case.
here's to your point, Steven. There's a few issues here. I could right now go buy a Series S at Best Buy.
Series S.
Yes, Series S. So these things don't sell out quite instantly. I mean, they do go fast.
Okay.
But it's not instantly.
Okay.
But to Buzz's point, I will say this. And again, I won't say this often on the show. I do agree with him. And you know why, Steven?
Why?
Because Buzz answered the question, if there was one, in his very last sentence. That Xbox opted to earmark Series X for its data centers for xCloud instead of selling a few extra consoles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they've done. This isn't 100K consoles, even 1 million. It's like a very small number of Series X are being removed from the digital storefronts and the Best Buys and the GameStops for this project.
We don't even know if that's true, though. That's the other thing. Like they say that, but it might not actually be the unit. It could just be some of the hardware for the unit. I don't know how that works.
A little bit of research on this because I saw this on yesterday, and I was like, oh wow, this is like an interesting way someone's brain works to sort of like explain away why Sony outsells Xbox so much more, that it's somehow by their own design that we're gonna take away a large chunk of our systems, not make money on them, but put them in data centers to focus on xCloud. That sounds nutty to me. But I think the one true point is it was a few extra consoles in the grand scheme, because Xbox, the way I read things when I was doing my research, it's about 8 Xbox One S's that go in these little things, they call them blades that go in data centers. Yeah, they go in these things called blades. And they made thousands of these blades to go out to their data centers to push this xCloud tech into people's homes. The Series X, their processor is about 4 times. It can run simultaneously what 4 Xbox One S's could do. So you have a 4-to-1 ratio. So for every Xbox Series X that goes in a data center, it's equivalent to 4 in that same One S in that same data center. So off the bat, you're using less Series X than you would be of the One S in this scenario. And let's say you're generous with this figure. I would say 25, maybe 40,000 Series X were allocated for this. So I don't see, that's not going to make a huge difference. 2 to 1. It's not going to, it's a drop in the bucket. So I'm not, that doesn't really explain why it's selling less than the PS5. It's the simplest answer, and that's the demand is higher for the PS5, which Sony knows.
Yes.
And they make more of their system.
Right.
Microsoft knows that they have demand, which is not good. It's there, but it's not as high. So they
And it doesn't have to be as high.
They fabricate less than what everyone else does.
Right. And they also are
As simple as that.
They're also servicing a part of the consumer base that doesn't need to purchase their system because they have an xCloud, because they have other means of playing these games.
Why would you want to make a bunch of Series X consoles when you're pushing this xCloud streaming service? I can play these games on my phone. So why am I buying a Series X?
Yeah, I mean, you and I could, but
I did buy one recently though. In the recent, and also I want to mention, when you say big batches being dropped, Buzz, that's true for us here in the States because this is the Xbox's largest market. You go elsewhere in the world, totally different story. You're not gonna find one in India. It's getting smoked in the UK. I'm talking like we're selling like 100,000 PS5s a week and like 25,000 Series X consoles in a week, and that's their second biggest territory is the UK. So I can imagine Microsoft pushing those bulk batches to land here more than anywhere else in the world. So we'll see those more here, but elsewhere, different story. But again, I agree. They opted to earmark a few extra console sales and put that towards this xCloud. Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm looking to see, trying to see if I can find how many go into how many servers they have. They have 140 data centers. So, I mean, we could be could be upwards of 140,000 centers.
Well, listen, if Xbox was honestly taking millions upon millions of Xbox Series X consoles and stuffing them into data centers, we'd have heard about this by now. Like, hey guys, the stock is low because they're all in our data centers.
Right. I think here's what I think about this entire theory here. Possible, not plausible.
No, I could definitely listen. It's a fact that they use hardware to some extent.
Yes, I just don't think
their servers
I don't think it's a huge reason for the 2-to-1 or 2.5 to 1.
That is definitely not.
Nor is it. Are you going to see a seismic shift and in catching up? Because the numbers, 2-to-1, 2.5 to 1, is not a small number. That's a big number. That's the difference between when it's all said and done, 1 million and 500,000 consoles sold. That could be a huge number when you continue to scale it and it grows exponentially. So I don't think it's. Personally, I think Microsoft, I think Xbox, especially the Series consoles, they catch up once their first party games start dropping hot. Once 2022, late 2022, 2023 comes around, that's when they're gonna start catching up. It's gonna be the same thing that we witnessed with PS3 in 2011. Here's the thing:
I don't think catching up is not even a focus for Microsoft.
No, it's not. Really, but it's going to happen. I'm not saying it is a focus.
Well, here's the thing: if you're not pushing, if the physical device isn't your primary business, if you're all about player engagement and the xCloud and Game Pass and giving players options to play your games on multiple devices, be it your Xbox, your PC, your phone, your tablet, you've evolved past the square box in your living room. Are you going to commission more to be made when you're seeing your audiences playing more of your content on a tablet, a phone, their PCs? That's the question.
Well, because I have an answer to that. I feel like I have an answer to that because it's as simple as this. My brother is 5 years older than me. He grew up on PlayStation, then moved to Xbox with the 360. He said to me, I think I want to get the new Series X. He has a 1S, I think. Maybe. I don't know what he has. I think I want to get the Series X. And I said, it's hard to get. But what you could do is you could sign up for Game Pass and get xCloud and go and get this Genki grip, and you could do it right on your phone. You can even cast it directly to your TV. And he said, it's way easier for me to just get the console.
Right.
Like, so there are a lot more him than there are you and I who are willing to do the, Googling how do I set this up and play this on my thing. It's just not second nature for a lot of people who grew up gaming. And I think that's sort of the people that have been apprehensive about jumping into the next gen consoles. And if you show them the games, and you say you could do all of this hoopla to play it on whatever you own now, or just buy our fucking box. And I think that's when you're going to see people say, I want to buy the fucking box, because look at the graphics. OMG. That's what they know. That's their DNA as a gamer, as a console gamer. My brother has a PC that could definitely play games. He really does. He bought a souped up PC because he needed something to help him with architecture stuff for work. So he's got a very powerful PC. But he's not playing games on it. Like, it's just not what he wants to do. He's a console gamer, and he wants the new shiny Xbox. There's no convincing him that xCloud Game Pass and all that shit, or getting, plugging in your DualShock via USB into your fucking thing, this, that, the other thing. None of that appeals to him. He wants to plug in the box, plug it into his TV, turn it on, and play games. And that's why I think when you start seeing all the new Halo and all this, that, and the other thing, all those games come out, especially Fable. He was huge into Fable. Like, that's gonna get him to go, I gotta buy that over a PlayStation.
Fable, we're talking 2024.
Well, whatever. You know what I mean.
Right.
There's going to be like the main reason why PlayStation did what they did in the PS3 era, where they were being outsold 3-1 and reversed it, started outselling Microsoft 3-1 in the last 4 years of that life cycle, was because they had the catalog to back it up. Well, they had the catalog.
Steven, you launch a year earlier. You don't cost $600.
But there wasn't. Yeah,
and the third-party games were shite. Ran like shite.
Of course,
on the PS3.
there weren't. Yes.
There's a lot of factors.
There's a lot of factors.
But
catalog. If you were telling somebody who knew about, if you were telling somebody that was holding out on jumping into next gen, if you told them what games they had in, let's say, 2011, 2012, they're buying a PS3 over a 360. Like, if you just put the games side by side, Uncharted's, all that stuff. So I just think that's what's going to do it for Xbox, and that's what I'm most excited for. Like, yes, I have Game Pass, but it's so much easier to play with the big fucking black box. It's just easier to do that.
That's why I ordered
Please
mine.
Do not add that as a quote.
That's why I ordered mine. Yeah, big black box. But we'll see. We'll see what the next couple of years bring for these consoles, like what the sales are like. Once you get out of this whole like chip shortage nonsense, I feel it's still a big part of the conversation. So we'll see. But clearly, we know. I mean, this is a fact that the demand for PS5 is more than it is for Series X currently. Look at trends. Look at the social media imprint when it comes to marketing and stuff like that. The demand is higher because you're coming off of huge PS4 success,
right,
which wasn't quite there for the Xbox One. Now that shit looks mega appealing, and I've bought into it more. I've spent more on Xbox in the last year than I have in the 7 years prior in the previous console generation. I'm on the Game Pass. I have a Series X coming in soon, so it's won me back in a lot of ways.
Well, you have all won me back and won my back, and you can shave it for me next summer.
Oh God,
if you
no!
Want to.
That's like.
Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This
bet to lose
has been Dual Screens Crossplay Podcast, the internet's #1 gaming news podcast, starring people you've never heard of, probably. Watch us live on Dual Screens, twitch.tv/Dual Screen Streams. Watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/Dual Screens TV. Thank you to everyone who is watching and listening around the globe. We can't do this without you. We love you. Andy, thank you.
This is a good one.
Yes, indeed.
A lot of fun. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you all. And as always, please be excellent to each other.